Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a truth that too many of us forget. You are a queen. Yes, you. You have a crown, invisible yet powerful, and it is time you start wearing it with pride. Life is not always kind. It tests you, it breaks you, and sometimes it makes you question your worth. But a queen does not crumble under pressure. She rises. She does not beg for validation. She knows her worth. She does not wait for a knight in shining armor. She becomes her own savior. You see, the world will try to tell you that you are not enough. It will point out your scars, your failures, your imperfections. But do you know what truly defines a queen? It is not the absence of struggles, but the courage to stand tall despite them. A queen knows that every scar is a story of survival. Every failure is a lesson, and every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. So my dear queen, stop apologizing for who you are. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect life. You are already enough. You are already powerful. And the moment you embrace that truth, the world will have no choice but to recognize your reign. Stand tall, walk with confidence, speak with wisdom, love yourself fiercely, and never ever forget, you are a queen, and it's time you start acting like one. You are powerful, not because of the titles you hold, the wealth you accumulate, or the people who validate you, but because of who you are at your core. Power is not just about dominance or control. It is about resilience, self-awareness, and the ability to rise no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. Too often, we underestimate our own power, waiting for someone to remind us of our worth. But the truth is, the power you seek outside has always been within you. It is time to recognize it, embrace it, and live by it. Power is not about having an easy life or never facing struggles. Real power comes from walking through fire and emerging stronger. Think of the times you thought you wouldn't make it, yet here you are, standing, breathing, surviving. Every time you felt broken but kept going, you proved your strength. Every time you wiped your own tears and decided to try again, you displayed resilience. Power is not in avoiding hardships, but in conquering them with grace. The world will try to define power for you. Society will tell you that power belongs to those with loud voices, big positions, or external achievements. But real power is quiet. It is in knowing who you are when no one is watching. It is in the way you choose to stand up for yourself, even when your voice shakes. It is in refusing to let others dictate your worth. A powerful woman does not wait for approval. She walks into a room with confidence, not because she is flawless, but because she accepts herself fully. Many people mistake power for aggression, but true strength is not in tearing others down. It is in lifting yourself up. It is in refusing to compete with anyone but your past self. A powerful woman does not measure herself against unrealistic standards set by society. She understands that her journey is her own, and she defines success on her own terms. When you realize that power is not about proving your worth to others, but about knowing it within yourself, you stop seeking external validation. To fully embrace your power, you must also let go of fear. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough. Fear is what keeps you small. It whispers doubts in your ears, making you question your abilities. But fear is just a shadow. It grows only when you feed it. The moment you decide to stop listening to it, you take back control. No one who has ever achieved greatness did so without facing fear. The difference is they chose to act despite it. Another part of owning your power is understanding that you do not need to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You do not have to downplay your intelligence, your ambition, or your success just to fit in. Too often, women are taught to be humble to the point of invisibility, to not take up space, to not speak too loudly, to not be too much. But a powerful woman knows that she is meant to shine. She does not apologize for her strength. She does not hide her achievements. She stands tall, knowing that her success does not take away from anyone else's. Finally, power is about choice. Every day, you have the choice to either let the world define you or to define yourself. You have the choice to live in fear or to step into your greatness. You have the choice to complain about your circumstances or to take action and change them. A powerful woman does not wait for permission to live the life she deserves. She builds it herself. You are powerful, not because the world says so, but because you decide to believe it. The moment you embrace this truth, you step into the queen you were always meant to be. Life's challenges shape you in ways you may not always understand in the moment. Every difficulty, every heartbreak, every setback carves strength into your soul. Sometimes it feels like life is unfair, throwing obstacles your way just when you think you're finally on steady ground. But what if I told you that every challenge you face is not meant to break you, but to build you? What if the struggles you despise today are shaping you into the unstoppable force you are meant to be? Think about the moments in your life when you felt lost, defeated, or hopeless. Maybe you failed at something you worked hard for. Maybe you lost someone you loved. Maybe you faced rejection, betrayal, or pain that left scars on your heart. In those moments, it may have felt like the end of the road. But look at yourself now. You survived. You endured the storm even when you thought you couldn't. And in doing so, you became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Pain is a powerful teacher. It forces you to grow in ways that comfort never could. When everything is easy, there is no reason to change, no reason to push beyond what is familiar. But when life challenges you, it forces you to dig deeper, to find strength you never knew existed. The truth is, we do not grow in the absence of struggle, we grow because of it. A tree that faces strong winds develops deeper roots. A diamond is formed under immense pressure, and you too are being shaped by the hardships you endure. Often we see our struggles as setbacks, but what if they are actually setups for something greater? Every challenge carries a lesson, but only if you choose to see it. That failure you experience, it taught you resilience. That heartbreak, it taught you self-love. That rejection, it redirected you to something better. You see, life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise, pushing you to evolve into the person you are meant to be. The world often tries to convince us that being broken is a sign of weakness, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Scars are not signs of failure, they are proof of survival. They tell a story of battles fought and won. They remind you that no matter what life threw at you, you kept going. Strength is not about never falling. It is about rising every time you do. It is about standing up after life knocks you down and saying, I am still here. There will be times when you want to give up, when the weight of the world feels unbearable. But in those moments, remember that everything you are going through is preparing you for something greater. The struggles you face today are equipping you with the strength, the wisdom, and the courage you will need for the future. Do not resent the challenges, embrace them. Do not let them make you bitter, let them make you better. One day you will look back at your toughest moments and realize that they were not roadblocks, but stepping stones. You will see that every hardship prepared you for something bigger, something greater. The pain you once wished away will become the very thing that shaped your power. Life's challenges are not here to destroy you, they are here to refine you. And when you start seeing them that way, you will understand that every struggle, every scar, every hardship was a necessary part of your journey toward becoming the queen you were always meant to be. Know your worth. It sounds simple, yet so many people go through life doubting themselves, seeking validation from others, and questioning whether they are enough. The truth is, you were born worthy. Your value does not depend on what others think of you, how much you achieve, or how perfectly you fit into society's expectations. Your worth is not something to be earned, it is something that exists within you, unshaken by external circumstances. Too often, people let the opinions of others define their self-worth. They wait for compliments to feel beautiful, for promotions to feel successful, for relationships to feel loved. But what happens when the compliments stop, when the promotions don't come, when people walk away? If your worth is tied to things outside of you, then you will always feel like you are not enough. You will constantly chase approval, afraid that without it, you are nothing. But the reality is, you are already whole. You do not need permission to believe in yourself. You do not need validation to be valuable. The moment you realize this, you take back your power. Knowing your worth means refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It means understanding that you are not an option, not an afterthought, not someone who should be grateful just to be chosen. It means realizing that you are a priority, that your time, energy, and love are precious. When you know your worth, you stop entertaining people who treat you like you are replaceable. You stop holding on to toxic relationships out of fear of being alone. You stop begging for love, respect, and attention from those who cannot see your value. Instead, you walk away knowing that the right people will never need to be convinced of your worth. Society often tries to convince women that they should be small, quiet, and agreeable in order to be liked. But a woman who knows her worth does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. She does not apologize for being strong, opinionated, or ambitious. She does not dim her light so others can shine. Instead, she takes up space, speaks her truth, and stands confidently in who she is. She does not fear being too much because she understands that the right people will never ask her to be less. One of the greatest signs of knowing your worth is setting boundaries. When you value yourself, you no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or half-hearted efforts. You do not allow others to drain your energy, disrespect your time, or treat you as if you are disposable. Boundaries are not about being selfish, they are about self-respect. They are about protecting your peace, prioritizing your well-being, and ensuring that the people in your life honor your value. A queen does not beg to be treated right, she commands it by the way she carries herself. It is important to remember that knowing your worth does not mean you are perfect. It does not mean you will never make mistakes or have moments of doubt. But even in those moments, you must remind yourself that your worth is not defined by your failures. You are not less valuable because of your imperfections. You are not unworthy because of your past. Your worth remains constant, no matter what happens. When you truly know your worth, you stop waiting for life to hand you opportunities. You create them. You stop hesitating to take risks because you trust yourself enough to handle whatever comes next. You stop fearing failure because you understand that it does not define you. You start living boldly, loving fiercely, and embracing the fact that you are enough exactly as you are. And when you do that, the world has no choice but to recognize your greatness. Be your own savior. Too often we are conditioned to believe that someone else will come to rescue us. Someone who will make everything better, solve our problems, and take away our pain. From childhood, we are told stories about knights in shining armor, about heroes who arrive just in time to save the day. But real life is different. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one else holds the key to your happiness, your success, or your future. That power lies within you. You are the hero of your own story, and it is time to start acting like it. Waiting for someone to fix your life is a dangerous illusion. If you keep waiting, you will waste precious time hoping for change instead of creating it. You will give others the responsibility for your happiness, your growth, and your dreams. But the reality is, no one else can walk your path for you. No one else can heal your wounds, chase your dreams, or fight your battles. That is your job. The moment you realize this, you step into your true power. You stop depending on external forces to give you what you need, and you start becoming the source of your own strength.
Be your own savior. Too often, we are conditioned to believe that someone else will come to rescue us. Someone who will make everything better, solve our problems, and take away our pain. From childhood, we are told stories about knights in shining armor, about heroes who arrive just in time to save the day. But real life is different. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one else holds the key to your happiness, your success, or your future. That power lies within you. You are the hero of your own story, and it is time to start acting like it. Waiting for someone to fix your life is a dangerous illusion. If you keep waiting, you will waste precious time hoping for change instead of creating it. You will give others the responsibility for your happiness, your growth, and your dreams. But the reality is, no one else can walk your path for you. No one else can heal your wounds, chase your dreams, or fight your battles. That is your job. The moment you realize this, you step into your true power. You stop depending on external forces to give you what you need, and you start becoming the source of your own strength. Being your own savior. does not mean you have to do everything alone. It does not mean you should never ask for help or lean on others. But it does mean that you take responsibility for your own life. It means you stop blaming your past, your circumstances, or other people for where you are. It means you stop making excuses and start making decisions. You understand that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. You can choose to rise above, to learn from your struggles, and to keep moving forward. When you rely on others to save you, you give away your power. You allow their actions, their opinions, and their presence to dictate your happiness. But what happens when they leave? What happens when they disappoint you? If your strength is built on someone else's support, it will crumble the moment they walk away. That is why you must build a foundation that is unshakable, a strength that comes from within. When you are your own savior, no one can take that power away from you. Becoming your own savior means believing in yourself, even when no one else does. It means trusting that you are capable, strong, and worthy of everything you desire. It means picking yourself up after every failure, every heartbreak, and every disappointment, and saying, I will not give up on myself. It means knowing that you are enough, not because someone else says so, but because you decide to believe it. There will be moments when it feels easier to give up, to wait for someone to come along and make things better. But in those moments, remind yourself that everything you need is already inside you. You have the power to heal yourself, to uplift yourself, to build the life you want. The road may not always be easy, but it is yours to walk. And with every step you take, you prove that you are not a damsel in distress. You are a warrior, a survivor, a queen who refuses to be saved because she knows she is more than capable of saving herself. Stop apologizing for who you are. The world has conditioned many of us, especially women, to constantly say sorry. For speaking too loudly, for taking up space, for having opinions, for simply existing in a way that does not conform to what others expect. But why should you apologize for being yourself? Why should you shrink, dim your light, and soften your voice just to make others comfortable? You are not here to fit into someone else's mold. You are here to stand tall in your truth, unapologetically. Every time you say sorry for something that does not require an apology, you chip away at your confidence. You reinforce the idea that you are somehow wrong for being yourself. If you have ever apologized for being ambitious, for having high standards, for saying no, or for expressing your emotions, ask yourself why. Who taught you that your power is a problem? Who made you believe that your voice should be silenced? The truth is, you do not owe the world an apology for being strong, bold, or confident. Many women apologize for their success, afraid of being seen as too ambitious or too confident. But success is nothing to be ashamed of. You do not need to downplay your achievements to make others feel better. You do not need to pretend to be less capable, less intelligent, or less talented just to be liked. Your success is not a threat. It is an inspiration. Own it. Walk into every room as if you belong there, because you do. Stop minimizing your greatness just to avoid making others uncomfortable. The right people will celebrate you, not resent you. Another thing we often apologize for is our emotions. Society has taught us that being emotional is a weakness, that crying means we are fragile, and that expressing anger or frustration makes us difficult. But emotions are human. They are not something to be ashamed of. You have every right to feel deeply, to express yourself fully, and to stand up for what you believe in. Do not let anyone make you feel guilty for having emotions. Do not say sorry for feeling hurt when someone disrespects you. Do not apologize for setting boundaries and protecting your peace. Your feelings are valid, and you do not have to justify them to anyone. How many times have you apologized for saying no? For not being available, for putting yourself first? Women are often taught that their worth is tied to how much they give to others, even at the cost of their own well-being. But the truth is, saying no is not selfish. It is necessary. You do not owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical health. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to walk away from toxic relationships without explaining yourself. You are allowed to choose yourself without feeling bad about it. Stop apologizing for wanting more from life. You have every right to dream big, to take up space, to demand respect, and to live life on your own terms. You are not here to be small. You are not here to be silent. You are here to be powerful, to be bold, and to be exactly who you were meant to be. The moment you stop apologizing for being yourself is the moment you truly step into your power. And when you do that, you show the world that you are a queen. Not because they say so, but because you have always been one. Embrace your individuality. The world will try to put you in a box, label you, and tell you who you should be. It will set expectations for how you should talk, dress, behave, and live your life. But you were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out. You were not meant to be a copy of someone else. You were meant to be uniquely, unapologetically yourself. The moment you stop trying to conform and start embracing who you truly are, you unlock a power that no one can take away from you. So many people spend their lives trying to fit into a version of themselves that others approve of. They silence their voices because they fear judgment. They hide their dreams because they are afraid of failure. They change their appearance, their opinions, and even their personalities to be accepted. But what is the point of being accepted if it means losing yourself in the process? What is the point of being liked if it requires you to live a life that does not align with your heart? The most liberating thing you can do is embrace yourself fully, your flaws, your strengths, your quirks, and your uniqueness. The world celebrates those who are brave enough to be different. Think about the people who have made history, who have inspired millions, who have changed the world. None of them did it by being like everyone else. They stood out because they dared to be themselves, even when the world told them they were too much, too different, too bold. They refused to dim their light, and that light became their greatest power. You too have something special within you, something that no one else in this world has. Do not hide it just because it makes others uncomfortable. When you embrace your individuality, you stop seeking approval. You no longer need permission to be yourself. You do not look for validation in the eyes of others because you recognize your own worth. You stop changing yourself to fit in because you understand that true belonging only happens when you are accepted for who you truly are. Pretending to be someone you are not might get you temporary acceptance, but it will never bring you true fulfillment. Real confidence comes from knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. One of the biggest challenges in embracing your individuality is facing criticism. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will like you, but that is not your problem. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to be real. You are here to live your truth, to express yourself, and to follow your own path. The opinions of others do not define you. What defines you is how you choose to live, how you choose to love yourself, and how you choose to show up in the world. Embracing your individuality also means letting go of comparison. Too often, we look at others and feel like we are not enough. We see their success, their beauty, their achievements, and we start doubting ourselves. But comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your confidence, and your peace. Your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. You are on your own path, moving at your own pace, and that is perfectly okay. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. The most beautiful thing you can be is yourself. There is nothing more powerful than a woman who knows who she is and refuses to be anything less. When you embrace your individuality, you radiate a confidence that cannot be shaken. You inspire others to do the same. You step into your full power. And when you do that, you show the world that you are a queen. Not because you fit into their expectations, but because you own exactly who you are. A queen is not defined by a crown on her head, but by the strength in her heart, the wisdom in her mind, and the courage in her soul. She does not wait for validation. She does not seek approval. And she does not apologize for being herself. She understands that life's challenges are not meant to break her, but to shape her into the powerful woman she is destined to be. She knows her worth and refuses to settle for anything less than she deserves. She does not wait for someone to save her. She becomes her own savior. True queens rise from adversity, not because life has been easy, but because they refuse to be defeated by it. They embrace their individuality, knowing that their uniqueness is their greatest strength. They walk boldly, love fiercely, and live unapologetically. They do not shrink to make others comfortable. nor do they silence their voices to avoid judgment. They own their power, stand tall in their truth, and lead with grace, resilience, and confidence. So if you ever doubt yourself, if you ever feel like you are not enough, remind yourself of who you are. You are strong, you are capable, you are worthy, you are a queen. And it's time to start acting like one.